Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Just Jesus. Today, we're going to be looking at a story in Matthew chapter 9, very familiar story to many people. And getting into a boat, he crossed over and came to his own city. That's speaking about Jesus. And behold, some people brought to him a paralytic lying on a bed. And when Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Take heart, my son, your sins are forgiven." And behold, some of the scribes said to themselves, "This man is blaspheming." But Jesus, knowing their hearts, knowing their thoughts, said, "Why do you think evil in your hearts? For which is easier to say, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Rise and walk'? But that you may know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins," he then said to the paralytic, "Rise, pick up your bed, and go home." And he rose and went home. But I just want to call your attention just for a few minutes to the question that Jesus asked of, of the scribes. So there's a paralytic lying there, and Jesus looks at him and says, "Take heart, my son, your sins are forgiven." He just forgives the individual sins. And the scribes, hearing that, are thinking to themselves, "This man is blaspheming. This man is claiming to be God." And Jesus, knowing what they were thinking, said, "Why do you think evil in your hearts?" That's a great question. Because I don't know about you, but there have been and continue to be a lot of times in my life when I will hear somebody say something that I don't understand, that doesn't make sense to me, or I will see somebody do something that I don't understand or that doesn't make sense to me. And one of the thoughts that I have rather often is, why are they doing that? That's dumb. That's stupid. They ought not to be doing that. Why do you think evil in your hearts? These men, these scribes, saw Jesus forgive somebody's sins, and they immediately thought something evil about Jesus. Instead of saying, "Well, wait a minute, can can you explain to me who you are, or could you explain to me what makes you think you have the right to forgive sins?" They just immediately accused him of blasphemy. There are always going to be things that people say around us that we don't understand. There are always going to be things that we see people do that we don't understand. And sometimes, instead of just giving them the benefit of the doubt, possibly, or even going up to them and saying, "Could you explain to me why you said that?" Or, "Do you mind explaining to me why you're doing that?" Instead of asking those questions, we just sometimes accuse them of doing something wrong, of thinking evil in our hearts about what they said or about what they did. And we ought not to be that way. This world has way too much hate for us to be adding to that because somebody has said something that we don't understand or somebody has done something that we don't understand. So the next time somebody says something that you don't understand, don't know why they said it, does something you don't understand, don't know why they do it, just ask them. And if you don't want to ask them, at least give them the benefit of the doubt that the reason they said it or that the reason they did what they did was a good reason, instead of thinking evil in our hearts about them. Well, I pray that you'll have a great day.